Friends, countrymen, lend me your ears. So we are going to do 2 parts of 5-7 today. If you notice up here, there's 3 activities, and it's kind of bulky. So we are going to kind of rely on our SAB book a little bit. So if you can look at page, I think it's 181. We're going to really look at 181 and 182 today, and probably 183. We're going to be talking about shifts in decimal numbers. We're going to use money because money has those decimal numbers that we know and love and are easy to follow, right? We're going to use money to see the way digits shift to the left when a whole number is divided by 1/10, 100th, and 1,000th. And if you look real quick at that place value chart in the back, we were talking about those shifts with the multiplication. So now it's just the opposite with division, right? Because division is the opposite of multiplication. We need to make that connection. So let's look. So Jordan earns $243 a week. The money is shown here. He's got $3 bills, 4 $10 bills, and 2 $100 bills. If I divide that by 1, what do you get? The same thing. There you go. Yes, you were right. It's 243. But what happens when, ooh, this is really tiny. What happens when, oh, I don't like it. It's too small. Okay, so now we're going to divide it by how many dimes is in $243. So you're dividing it by what? Okay, think of dimes in comparison to dollars. This would be a dollar. This would be a dime. So what is it called? 1/10 of a dollar, right? A dime is 1/10 of a dollar. Tell your neighbor that. And the video didn't hear me because the video was off. They didn't get to hear me, but that's okay. So basically, 243, that's where our decimal is, right? Wait, hold on. I wanted to make the decimal by itself. 243. Here is my decimal, right? If I were dividing by 1/10, I'm going to shift the numbers to the left. How many places? One place. And the reason that works is because it's opposite. This is what we know. When you multiply by 1/10, you move one place to the right. When you divide by 1/10, you're doing the opposite. You're moving one place to the left. Okay? And we already answered those questions. Can you try to answer those questions and discuss it with your partner? How many dimes there were? What about pennies? Pennies. How many pennies are there in a dollar? 100, right? So would you say, and you can say true or false, and you can say it pretty loud because I have my microphone on, but true or false, 1/100th is representative of 1 penny of a dollar. True. All right, I think they heard you. So 1/100th. Now, when you multiply by 100, which way do you move on the chart? Left, right? How many places to the left do you move? 2 places. Okay. When you multiply by 1/100th, which way do you move?
Left. Right.
Right. How many places do you move? 2. So if you multiply by 100th, multiplication, and you move to the right, if you divide,
I like it.
no, 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 not okay. That was really scary. Divide by 100th. Which way do you think you're going to move?
Right.
Opposite. Opposite of something's wrong with my smartboard. But what I want you to see is multiplication is the inverse operation of division. It's the opposite. Do you want to see her? So, how many pennies does he earn in $243? 24,300. So, with my magic, here's my magic decimal. We had $243. If we were to magically delicious divide by 100th, because that's 100th, right? I'm going to move my place, to the left, 1, 2. So I know I need to put 2 placeholders. What's my answer? 24,300. Are we starting to feel it? Starting to feel it? What happens to each dollar? What happens to each dollar? What happened? It becomes what?
It becomes
What? Each dollar becomes 100 pennies. So we break down each dollar into 100 pennies. What happens to the number showing Jordan's? The Jordan's number becomes what? Greater. Now, but you have to understand something. Does his earnings change?
No.
No, just the way it's represented. Because he's not getting $24,300. He's being paid in pennies. Who wants 24,300 pennies? I do. It will pay for half of Jack's summer school or summer camp. I'll take 24,000 pennies.
I do. You can go to the machines and dump them in.
It's 100 times. It's just more pieces. We started off with $3 bills, 4 10s, and 200s. Now, if I'm making this all pennies, that's a lot of pennies. That's all we're doing, okay? You're just making, we're not changing the amount of money. The money stays staying the same. It's just how we're breaking the money apart. So we said when you divide by 100th, each digit shift goes to the left, like Beyonce, because she always goes to the left, to the left. Yes, I know, it's all right. Because left. You know what I mean. Jeez, you guys. Because dividing by 100th is the same as what?
Multiplying by 10.
No. Multiplying by 100.
This is great. It says divide.
Oh, you guys. I corrected it. So, what happens to each dollar? Each dollar becomes 1/100th of a. Now we're going to divide by 1,000th. I want you to picture, this says 243 divided by 1,000th. What was that? Oh, God. So, what I want you to see here, friends, you see how there's decimals right here? How many places are there? Thousandth. Okay. Where's the decimal point in the $243 right now? Where is it? So what am I going to do to this number? Shift it. Which way, Grayson? 3 times to the left. So how many tenths of a cent does he earn? 243,000 tenths of a cent. There's not really a thousandth penny, is there? It's like if you were to cut a penny into tens, no, into tens, and it's a 1/10 of a penny. So it's like a really teeny tiny piece. It's a pizza penny. Okay? So what happens to each dollar? Each dollar becomes what? 1,000. What happens to each dollar? What happens to the number showing Jordan's earnings? Okay, we're going to do something. So, for the big finale of the day, when we divide a number by a decimal number less than 1, because a tenth, a hundredth, and a thousandth are all smaller than 1. Think dimes, pennies, and pieces of pennies. Those are all smaller than a $1 bill, right? Okay. Why is our quotient, our answer, why is our answer, for example, here, why is our answer greater? Well, when we divide, don't make fun of my spelling, by a number, you could be writing this in your SAT book, so you have it to look back at. When we divide a number less than 1, again, a tenth, a hundredth, a tenth, a hundredth, or a thousandth, we find how many decimal parts are in the number we are dividing.